Today we learn about principles of management. The famous management scientists like Henry Fayol, F.W. Taylor, and other scientific management scientists declared some of the important principles for called as scientific principles of management. Now, Henry Fayol has proclaimed 14 principles of management, scientific principles of management. So, most of the scientists agreed and practiced these all principles of management. Now, what is a principle? Principle of management are the statement of fundamental truth, act as guidelines for taking managerial decisions and actions. All these principles are fundamental truths. Fundamental truths. It is based on true incidents. So, the principles are based on true incidents. Act as guidelines. All these principles, directly or indirectly, useful for the managers to take as guidelines for taking decisions and action. These principles are mainly used as guidelines for taking managerial decisions. So, the principles are at most important in decision making or taking decisions on routine activity. What are the principles of management? Before going to study the principles of management, nature of the principles of management, we study and learn the nature. The first aspect regarding nature of the scientific principles are universal applicability. All these principles applicable to all the aspects, all the companies, whichever is practicing or not practicing, this applies to the all the situations, wherever, irrespective of country, irrespective of government or private. These scientific principles of management apply to all the situations. Universal applicability is the main feature of the scientific principles. Second nature is guidelines, general guidelines. Based on these principles, the concerned manager has to take decision. So, based on these guidelines, the concerned person responsible or the manager or the director or the worker has to take decisions. They can use these principles as guidelines. Flexible. These principles are flexible, little changeable. You can adapt in any situation. So, these principles are flexible. Behavioral in nature. These principles are behavioral. Behavioral means not fixed. They change, they react to the other side behavior. Whoever is using this principle, the result will based on the behavior of the person who is using this principle. So, little tilting will be there based on the behavior of the person using it. Based on the cause and effect relation. The principles are based on cause and effect. What caused this mismanagement and based on the cause by applying principle, and you find some effect as per the cause of the problem, formed by practice and experience and experiment. These principles are formed by practice, by experience, by experiment. So, all these principles are experimented in the concerned factories, offices also. So, these are not simple ones, these are practically proven principles. Because why principles are used? Common sense is not common in common people. So, common sense is the meaning or the word we use. We are very flexible persons. We can understand that this is very simple principle, but sometimes we should know that it is related to common sense and it is not common in all the people. So that the principle must be displayed, explained to each and every one. So these are the main aspects regarding the nature of the scientific management principles. Now, management scientists, here most of them are there, but Henry Fayol and F. W. Taylor are the two main scientists regarding scientific management principles. Fayol principles are called Fayolism, and Taylor principles are called Taylorism. Almost both of them analyzes, synthesizes, improve economic efficiency, labor productivity, and both of them proclaimed the profound the main useful scientific principles of management. Now we go to the mainly Henry Fayol 14 principles of management, scientific principles of management. Why the importance of principles of management? We study it provides the managers with useful insight. The scientific principles of management provide the managers with great insights. Optimum utilization of resources. Why management principles are used means optimum utilization of resources. Taking good decisions, scientific decisions. Meeting the challenging environment. Whatever the situation may be, they have to face meeting the challenging environment. Effective administration. Effective administration is also using the principles. Managerial training. Every person, irrespective of age, experience, should be given training. So these are the importance before going why we should study the principles of management. The scientific Henry Fayol 14 principles of scientific management are one by one we discuss. First one is division of labor. What is the division of labor, division of work? The principle says that as far as possible, all the works are divided and subdivided into smaller part of work, so that each small part of the work can be assigned to an employee, in which he becomes specialized. So the specialization is occurring by dividing the work into smaller pieces. The same person do the same work in large number of times. By repeatedly doing the same work, his specialization, his performance, his perfection improves. So the principle says that principles of division of work says that each division should lead to specialization. So the worker becomes specialized with high speed, with high quality of work, and so on. So the division of work should be there in the first principle. Second one is principle of authority and responsibility. Authority and responsibility. Every one of the persons, people, human beings feel that I should be given authority. Authority means power. Authority means decision makingness. We like authority. We enjoy authority. But we do not want to take responsibility. But the management principle says that authority and responsibility should be matched. The sufficient authority should be given to the concerned persons. Sufficient authority to take decisions immediately should be given to the persons who are performing the activities. At the same time, the responsibility to successful completion of the work is also entrusted to the same person. So the limited authority and the sufficient authority and suitable responsibility should be given to the employees. The authority and responsibility should, both of them should be matching. One should not enjoy more authority and should not neglect taking responsibility. So both of authority and responsibility should be matching. Then only the works will be successfully, responsibly completed. Third principle of management is discipline. So discipline is punctuality, doing the things in right time, right way, not neglecting anything. Discipline is the best feature of a personality. Fourth principle of management is unity of direction. Unity of direction. A subordinate should receive directions from one person only, one superior only. The subordinate should receive directions from one superior only. Because if more superiors are giving orders to a subordinate, he gets confused which superior's work should be given priority, which superior should work be done. In this way, the subordinate will escape from doing work by saying that by the reason multiple bosses. So only the subordinate should receive from only one boss orders from guidance or directions from only one superior, so that he performs all the as per the directions of the superior without confusion. Fifth principle is unity of command. Unity of command. Unity of direction and unity of command almost nearer. Unity of command is only one order. Only one order must be given to one person. Unity of command. Only from one person you should take order without confusing. Sixth principle is subordination of individual interest to the organizational interest. So each employee has its own interest, and the company, the organization is also having interest. as per the organizational interest, the workers should work more and they should come in time, they should work sincerely. These are the organizational interests. The individual interests are the employee should work less, take more salary, escape all the things. But the principle says that subordination of individual interests. Individual interests are less prioritized. Organization interests are more preferred. So, first to fulfill the organizational interest, then individual interest. So, top priority should be given to the interests of the organization. Seventh principle of management is remuneration, compensation, fair compensation. Fair compensation should be paid to the suitable employees. What is a good compensation, good salary? Whoever is paid sufficient salary, the employee works happily with more motivation. So, the scientists use fair payment, fairly paid. So, eighth principle of management is centralization and decentralization. Centralization means vesting powers with the top boss only. All powers are vested with the top boss only. Top level management only having exercising powers all over the employees. Is centralization of power at top level only is called centralization. Decentralization means the delegation of power is given to all the executives. Whatever the power is needed is delegated to the lowest level of performer. That's centralization and decentralization. Any organization should not be centralized power or should not be too decentralized power. It should sometimes have some mix of centralized and decentralized power centers. Scalar chain, next principle is scalar chain. Scalar chain means the orders should flow from top to bottom. At top level, general manager, second, manager, third. In this way, by coming downwards, the level of management will be coming down and the orders flow in this order only. Orders from the top management to lowest management should flow in a chain manner. This is called scalar chain. Then only each stage the employees will learn what to do. But this is also sometimes delays in decision making. So, to avoid delay in decision making, gangplank system also introduced. So, all the employees sit together and giving instructions is the method of gangplank. So, with this, scalar chain will get satisfied and work also should not be delayed. Next, 10th principle of management is order. Every person has right place, everything is in right order. Right series should be the order of right place, right order, right time. Next principle is equity. The superior should view the employees, subordinate employees, with equity, justice, courtesy. Whoever is doing some mistakes should be considered humanitarian. So, since all the works are being taken from the employees, human beings, the same people should be treated with courtesy, equity, justice. Even though they are subordinates, they are workers, they are paid, and even then they should be treated with equity, humanity, justice should be shown to the people who are working in the organization. Next, 12th principle is stability of tenure of personnel. So, if a person's job is doing for long time, say permanent job, he is doing from long times, he feels that he will have possessiveness. This is my organization. I should work for the betterment of the organization. This type of feeling is called possessiveness. If employee feels that this is mine, he works more and more hard. So he works better, he works sincerely. So this comes from stability of tenure. If he is given a permanent chance, work for permanently, he will be giving his best services to the organization. Next, initiative principle. Initiation should be offered. Every person in the organization should take initiatives in their respective works. They are given freedom to express their views, express their opinions. The top management should give respect to the opinions of the subordinates or lower level employees. The lower level employees should be encouraged to give their opinions, feedback. There should be initiation from the top level management to encourage the lower level management to give their opinion. From the lower level workers should have initiation to do better things, to give their opinion, to give their feedback to the top level management. Sometimes whistleblower policy, whoever finds mistake in the process should come forward, irrespective of the cadre, should complain to the top management. This is called whistleblower policy. Such people should be incentivized, given encouragement, so that the entire process can be saved. So, initiation should be there in every person's job. So, initiation should be there from top level management to encourage the lower level management, and from the side of lower level management to take proper initiatives to avoid the losses, to improve the quality, to do the betterment wherever necessary. Every person should take proper initiatives whenever necessary, wherever necessary. Finally, 14th one is esprit de corps. So, unity is strength. Teamwork. Every individual works better, but as a team, we have to coordinate with others. We have to coordinate with others and do the things better. If we do the things together, it would be more useful. So, better to learn, respect others. I am doing best, but I should respect others' work also. Doing the work together, doing the work along with others is called teamwork. Esprit de corps says that teamwork is better. Teamwork is better. One should work together for the success of the organization, for the success of organization. So these are the 14 principles of management. I once again I read out. First one, division of work, division of labor leads to specialization. Second one, authority and responsibility should be matched. Authority and responsibility should be matched. Third one, discipline. Fourth one, unity of direction. Fifth one, unity of command. Sixth, subordination of personal interest to organizational interests. Seventh, remuneration. Eighth, centralization and decentralization. Ninth, scholar chain principle. 10th, order. 11th, equity. 12th, stability of tenure. 13th, initiativeness. 14th, esprit de corps. These are the principles of management, scientific principles of management. Thank you one and all.